the news tonight, the Bureau for Public Procurement commends state government for its commitment to accountability in governance. State government executes project worth over 650 billion naira without borrowing. Federal government directs security agencies to crack down on hoarding, diversion of cooking gas. And abroad, 164 killed as powerful earthquake hits Venezuela. Good evening and welcome to the Delta Television Main News. I am Perpetua Iboba. You can follow our news online on Facebook at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba and on YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Now the details. The Bureau for Public Procurement, BPP, Abuja, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, have commended the Delta State government for its openness, transparency, and commitment to accountability in governance. The Director General of the Bureau for Public Procurement, Dr. Adebowale Adedokun, gave the commendation on behalf of the two agencies during a courtesy visit to the Deputy Governor, Sir Monday Onyeme, at his office in the Government House, Asaba. Pere Boto has details.
Dr. Adedokun described Delta State as a progressive partner in the fight against corruption, noting that the state has demonstrated a commendable willingness to subject its governance processes to independent and external evaluation. He said Delta State is among the few states that have opened their doors to the ICPC for peer review, adding that the administration's confidence in its governance structure and readiness to align with global best practices in public accountability are strong indicators of responsible and transparent leadership. The Director General of the Bureau for Public Procurement highlighted the critical link between effective subnational governance and national stability, noting that when states prudently manage their resources and implement projects efficiently, it reduces pressure on the national government and enables greater focus on critical national and international issues. He explained that the visit was aimed at examining how public procurement processes are being carried out in the state and identifying possible areas for improvement in implementation, compliance, and project execution where necessary. Dr. Adedokun assured the state government of continued engagement and collaboration with subnational governments across the country to promote best practices, strengthen procurement systems, and enhance service delivery for the benefit of the citizens and good governance.
His Excellency, the President of our great country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who instructed that the Bureau of Public Procurement should find a way of collaborating with the state and even further with the local government, because it's our common resource, collaborate on ensuring that we deliver the renewed hope agenda to our Nigerian people.
Responding, the state deputy governor, Sir Monday Onyeme, thanked the BPP and ICPC for the visit and for taking an active interest in assessing the state's public procurement processes and providing guidance on areas that could further be strengthened.
I'm particularly happy because you are coming to add value to the state's government and our governance process by coming to see how we handle our procurement duties and to guide us on how to further strengthen all areas that are not too strong.
Sir Onyeme stated that Governor Sheriff Oborowori personally undertakes regular inspections of projects across the state and maintains a zero-tolerance stance on substandard jobs, stressing that contractors found wanting are reprimanded and in some cases have their contracts revoked. I am Pere Botu reporting.
The state government's administration executed projects worth over 650 billion naira in 2025, covering 362 projects without resorting to borrowing. Governor Borewori disclosed this while declaring open the two-day public procurement and enlightenment workshop organized by the Delta State Public Procurement Commission for top government functionaries. Pere Boto reports.
The governor said the state government committed 654.5 billion naira to procurement activities involving contracts valued at 25 million and above, resulting in the award of 362 contracts across critical sectors, including roads, education, healthcare, and other strategic infrastructure projects. Governor Oborowori, represented by his deputy, Sir Monde Oyeme, affirmed that the remarkable achievements recorded by the administration were accomplished without borrowing, attributing the success to fiscal discipline, prudent financial management, and strict adherence to due process. He stated that his administration had continued to fund major developmental projects while maintaining the financial stability of the state, adding that an efficient procurement system remains essential to good governance and sustainable development. The governor noted that the procurement system had continued to guide its efforts to strengthen institutional framework that promote openness, fairness, healthy competition, and value for money in project execution.
Beyond project delivery, we remain committed to ensuring that every naira spent delivered measurable value to our people. We will therefore continue to deepen procurement reform and strengthen capacity of the Delta State Public Procurement Commission.
While commending the Delta State Public Procurement Commission for organizing the workshop, Governor Oborowori said the theme was both timely and strategic as it speaks directly to his administration's commitment to transparency, accountability, and the prudent management of public resources. The governor observed that public procurement remains one of the government's most important responsibilities, serving as the channel through which public funds are transformed into roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, water projects, and other critical infrastructure that improve the lives of the people. Chairman of the Delta State Public Procurement Commission, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police David Igodo, said the workshop reflected the unwavering commitment of the state government to institutionalize excellence, transparency, accountability, and strict compliance with the Delta State Public Procurement Law of 2020.
Indeed, the impressive progress being recorded in the implementation of the MORE agenda is closely connected to this commitment to due process. By ensuring that only the most qualified contractors undertake public projects, Your Excellency has laid a solid foundation for sustainable infrastructure, development, prudent management of public resources, and increased public confidence in government.
In his paper titled Understanding the Delta State Procurement Law of 2020, procurement expert Barrister Chibuzo Ekweko said procurement must be geared towards achieving value for money, stressing that items to be procured must be clearly defined and properly detailed in line with established specifications.
What we've done here today is to try to improve the understanding of political office holders, policymakers, of the provisions of that law, what it requires of them. They should relate with the administrative officers who have the direct responsibility for carrying out procurement.
The Director General of the Bureau for Public Procurement, Dr. Adebowale Adedoku, in his paper titled Achieving Professionalism in Public Procurement in Nigeria, advocated that the Director General of the State Procurement Commission should be a member of the State Executive Council as part of ongoing reforms. He also stressed that no contract should be awarded without a no objection approval issued by the procurement agency, while emphasizing the need for quality assurance, accountability, and cost savings.
It will help to increase tax revenue. National Internal Revenue Service in Abuja increased their revenue for barely 1 trillion to about 13 trillion because of the enforcement of public procurement rules.
In its lecture titled The Role of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) in promoting transparency and preventing fraud in public procurement in Nigeria, the chairman of the ICPC, Dr. Musa Aliyu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, represented by the head of Project Monitoring Unit, Mr. Jimoh Sulaiman, frowned at practices such as budget padding, deliberate contract splitting, and abuse of contract variations. He called for stronger enforcement of procurement laws and real-time consequences for violations. The highlight of the workshop was the presentation of an award of excellence to Governor Sheriff Obodowori by the chairman of the Delta State Public Procurement Commission, as well as presentation of certificates of compliance to some commissioners. I am Pere Botu reporting.
In another development, the State Deputy Governor, Samande Onyeme, has assured the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, of the state government's unwavering support and commitment to addressing critical challenges confronting the scheme in the state. Onyeme gave the assurance when he received the NYSC State Director, Mr. John Kwage, and his delegation who called on him at the Government House, Asaba. Over again to Pere Botu.
Sir Oyeme noted that many Nigerians who passed through the scheme fully understood the challenges faced by corps members and appreciated the importance of creating a more conducive, secure, and enabling environment for them throughout their service year. He commended the NYSC for its immense contributions to the development of the state, noting that corps members had continued to play significant and impactful roles across various sectors of the state's economy and in national development. The NYSC State Director, Mr. John Kwege, expressed appreciation to the state government for its sustained support to the scheme. He also highlighted some of the challenges facing the NYSC in the state and solicited the government's intervention and assistance in addressing them. I am Pere Botu reporting.
The Delta State House of Assembly Committee on Health has presented its report on the Delta State HIV and AIDS and Hepatitis B and C Anti-Discrimination, Prevention and Protection Bill before the House during plenary. Also, the House Committee on Public Accounts has commenced its annual audit exercise of ministries, departments, and agencies of government to promote accountability and transparency in public financial management. Favor Okafor reports. We sincerely apologize. We'll bring you that report in our subsequent bulletin. The Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures in Nigeria has welcomed the passage of the State Police Bill for second reading by the Senate, describing it as a major step in ongoing efforts to strengthen security and deepen federalism in the country. In a statement signed by its chairman and Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Emomotimi Guwo, the conference reiterated its support for the proposed legislation, noting that community-based policing would improve security response and address local challenges more effectively. The conference gave assurance that the state houses of assembly across the federation would give the bill due consideration in line with constitutional provisions and engage stakeholders through consultations and public hearings where necessary. It commended the Senate for the move and called for sustained engagement among stakeholders while reaffirming its commitment to supporting constitutional reforms that strengthened democracy, governance, and national security. The All Progressives Congress, APC, in the state has conducted primary elections for the 6 newly restored House of Assembly constituents approved by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The constituencies are Anyocha North 2, Ika North East 2, Sapele 2, Ethiop West 2, Warri South West 2, and Warri North 2. A statement signed by the Delta State APC Publicity Secretary, Barrister Valentine Onojegwo, said the exercise was peaceful and conducted in line with its electoral guidelines, attracting party leaders, stakeholders, and members across the affected constituencies. The party said it adopted the option A4 voting system to ensure transparency and inclusiveness, while also reaffirming candidates who had earlier emerged as flag bearers in their constituencies. Those returned are Mr. Fidel Omode for Anyocha North 1, Honorable Marilyn Okowa Daramola for Ika North East 1, Prince Honorio de Umukoro for Ethiop West 2, Mr. Ejiro Jamani for Sapele 2, and Mr. Ebipade Kari for Warri North 2. In Anyocha North 2, the returning officer, Obueshi Chukufum Nanya Onyanwa, declared Dr. Alexander Awuno winner after emerging as consensus.
Today is the primary election, and as you can see behind you, I'm in the UK.
And Mr. Andrew Iban for Warri South West 2. Party stakeholders described the exercise as historic, while candidates thanked party leaders and members for their support and commitment to party unity.
UK, the crowd that actually came around here to endorse the mandate and give us that support. So I was amazed to see the turnout, the large turnout of persons who came out here, the APC members that came out here to endorse me. So it was just something that I never really decided to do at this moment.
The Isoko Nation has been assured of improved electricity supply following ongoing interventions by the state government to restoring critical power infrastructure in the area. The State Commissioner for Energy, Mr. Michael Anoka, gave the assurance while addressing members of the Isoko People's Measures who staged a peaceful protest to the Government House, Asaba. He said Governor Sheriff Oborewori had already directed actions to addressing the power challenges and remained committed to delivering lasting solutions, adding that intervention works had commenced on the BEDC line serving the area, while rehabilitation of the Emevo-Ozoro power line would begin next week to improve supply. The Energy Commissioner disclosed that the governor was also reviewing the abandoned Ozoro 132 kV substation project as part of efforts to achieving a long-term solution. Spokesman for the group, Chief Jerry Othuke, appealed to the state government to complete the Ozoro 132-33 kV line and transmission substation, noting that the project could supply electricity across Isoko Nation. He commended government's developmental efforts and expressed optimism that the project would be delivered. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation to explore measures aimed at improving the welfare package of personnel in Nigeria's information sector. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, disclosed this during the 2026 Civil Service Week celebration at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. Idris said the president had mandated the ministry to examine practical options for enhancing the welfare of information workers as part of the administration's commitment to strengthening the public service and improving service delivery. He assured staff that the government remained committed to rewarding dedication, professionalism, and excellence in the civil service. The minister, who presented certificates of recognition to deserving staff members, described civil servants as the engine room of governance, stressing that their commitment and efficiency were crucial to policy implementation and national development. He noted that the ministry plays a strategic role in disseminating accurate information, promoting national unity, and supporting the renewed hope agenda through effective public communication and enlightenment. Idris also highlighted achievement of the Tinubu's administration, including economic reforms, improved state revenues, stronger foreign reserves, infrastructural development, and expanded access to higher education through the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. He urged civil servants to uphold professionalism, integrity, and selfless service, while Permanent Secretary Dr. Binyere Okaire commended public servants for their contributions to governance and called for adherence to the core values of efficiency, productivity, integrity, and citizen-centered service delivery. The federal government has welcomed the sanctions imposed by the United States Office of Foreign Asset Control on Nigerian Bureau de Change (BDC) operator Mukhtar Adamo and two companies, 929 BDC Limited and Generation BDC Limited, over alleged terrorism financing. The Nigerian Sanctions Committee said the sanctions followed Nigeria's earlier decision to place the individuals and companies on its sanctions list on June 18 after intelligence gathering, financial investigation, and interagency assessment linked them to the financing and support of the Islamic State West Africa Province (ISWAP) and associated terrorist networks. The federal government directed financial institutions and designated non-financial businesses to comply fully with sanction measures, including asset freezing and reporting suspicious transactions. It also reaffirmed its commitment to working with local and international partners to combating terrorism financing and strengthening national security. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Honorable Ekperipe Ekpo, has called on security agencies, including the Nigerian Police Force, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Department of State Services, DSS, to prevent the diversion of liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, also known as cooking gas, from legitimate supply channels. Speaking at the end of a stakeholders meeting on the rising prices of cooking gas in Abuja, he expressed the need to move from discussions to concrete actions and accountability by all stakeholders in the sector. He urged security agencies to support regulators in tackling diversion, hoarding, illegal storage, and disruption of legitimate LPG supply across the country. The minister also directed the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, Rabiu Abdullahi Omar, to collaborate with the Nigeria LNG Limited, local LPG plants, and major producers to boost local availability, improve coordination, reduce distribution costs, and ensure stable pricing. It will further charge regulators to intensify market monitoring, publish regular markets updates, investigate hoarding and diversion, and sanction erring operators. He also urged producers to prioritize the domestic market and ensure timely supply, while depot owners and terminal operators were tasked with publishing loading schedules, reporting stock levels, treating marketers fairly, and improving truck turnaround time. You are watching the Delta Television main news. Still to come, 164 killed as powerful earthquake strikes Venezuela. Details of this and more after the break. You're watching the Delta Television main news. A member of the United States House of Representatives, Mr. Riley Moore, has welcomed the passage of the Constitution Alteration Bill by the Senate, seeking to establish state police in Nigeria, saying the reform would help states better protect their citizens, particularly Christians facing persecution. Mr. Moore, who represents West Virginia's 2nd Congressional District, made the remark in a post on his X handle, noting that he had long advocated the decentralization of policing in Nigeria. According to him, the proposed law would empower states to provide improved security for residents and reduce dependence on decisions taken at the federal level in Abuja. He also commended President Bola Tinubu for supporting the initiative, describing the development as a significant step towards addressing insecurity and protecting vulnerable communities across the country. The Senate passed the bill after more than two-thirds of lawmakers voted in its favor. The proposed legislation seeks to establish state police services alongside the Nigeria Police Force, with governors empowered to appoint commissioners of police subject to confirmation by their respective state houses of assembly. However, the bill must still secure the approval of at least two-thirds of the state houses of assembly and complete other constitutional processes before it could become law. At least 164 people have been killed and nearly 1,000 others injured following twin earthquakes that struck Venezuela, marking the country's strongest seismic event in more than a century. The earthquakes, measuring magnitudes 7.2 and 7.5, hit areas west of the capital, Caracas, on Wednesday, causing widespread destruction and trapping many residents under collapsed buildings. The hardest hit areas include La Guaria, Trujillo, Carabobo, and Miranda states, where several buildings collapsed and thousands of residents were forced to spend the night outdoors. Authorities said the Maquitia International Airport near Caracas sustained severe damage and has been temporarily closed, while electricity and gas supplies were disrupted in some affected areas as a precautionary measure. Rescue operations are ongoing as emergency workers and volunteers continue searching through the rubble for survivors. Several countries, including France, Spain, and the United States, have offered assistance with search and rescue teams, medical support, and humanitarian aid already being mobilized to support relief efforts. The earthquakes, described by the United States Geological Survey as a doublet event, were felt across neighboring Colombia, prompting evacuations in some areas. Venezuelan authorities have warned residents to remain vigilant as aftershocks are expected in the coming days. President Bola Tinubu has called on African countries to end the practice of exporting raw minerals and importing finished products, saying the continent must embrace industrialization, value addition, and regional cooperation to achieve sustainable growth. Represented by the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Mr. Dele Alake, at the African Natural Resources and Energy Investment Summit in Abuja, President Tinubu said Africa should move beyond being a supplier of raw materials and become a hub for manufacturing, processing, and innovation. He urged African nations to work together to harness their mineral and energy resources, stressing that the continent's wealth must create jobs, industries, and prosperity for Africans rather than enriching other parts of the world. The average retail price of premium motor spirit PMS, also known as petrol, rose to 1,596.25 per litre in May 2026, representing a 55.31% increase from 1,027.76 recorded in May 2025. According to the latest Price Watch report released by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, the report also indicated a 4.13% month-on-month increase from the 1,532.93 per litre recorded in April 2026. According to the NBS, petrol prices remained relatively stable between September and November 2025, ranging from 970.59 to 1,061.35 per litre. However, prices rose sharply in 2026, increasing from 1,051.47 in February to 1,288.54 in March, before reaching 1,596.25 in May. At the state level, Edo State recorded the highest average petrol price at 1,722.91 per litre, followed by Bauchi and Benue State at 1,715.47 naira and 1,698.57 naira respectively. Adamawa State recorded the lowest average price at 1,469.83 per litre, while Katsina and Sokoto States posted averages of 1,470.63 and 1,489.33 respectively. Among the geopolitical zones, the South-South recorded the highest average petrol price at 1,623.84 per litre, while the Northwest had the lowest at 1,564.11. The report further revealed that diesel prices surged by 86.40% year-on-year to 3,277.47 per litre nationwide, with the Northwest recording the high zonal diesel price at 3,313.60 per litre. The NBS said the data was compiled from over 10,000 respondents across selected outlets in all the 774 local government areas covering the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Morocco's Ismail Saibari has made history as the 2026 FIFA World Cup by becoming the first African player to score in all three group stage matches of a single World Cup tournament. The 25-year-old achieved the feat after scoring against Haiti in Morocco's final Group C match. Saibari had earlier scored in Morocco's 1-1 draw with Brazil and netted the decisive goal in a 1-0 victory over Scotland. His achievement surpasses records set by the African legends such as Roger Milla, Rashidi Yekini, and Samuel Eto'o, none of whom scored in all three group stage matches at a single tournament. Playing as a false nine under coach Mohamed Oubi, Saibari has been instrumental in helping Morocco progress to the knockout stage. His achievement places him alongside global stars such as Lionel Messi, James Rodriguez, Cody Gakpo, and Alvaro Morata, who have also scored in all three group games at previous World Cups. Saibari's impressive international form follows a successful club season with PSV Eindhoven, where he won a third consecutive league title and was named Eredivisie Player of the Year. The Moroccan star is also expected to complete a 55 million move to Bayern Munich on a 5-year contract. Our thoughts for the day. Knowledge will give you power, but good character will give you respect. To end the news, the highlights. The Bureau for Public Procurement, BPP, Abuja, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, have commended the Delta State government for its openness, transparency, and commitment to accountability in governance. The Director General of the Bureau for Public Procurement, Dr. Adebowale Adedokun, gave the commendation on behalf of the two agencies during the Kodza visit to the Deputy Governor Samande Onyeme at his office in the Government House, Asaba. The state government administration executed projects worth over 650 billion naira in 2025, covering 362 projects without resorting to borrowing. Governor Barewari disclosed this while declaring open the 2-day public procurement and enlightenment workshop organized by the Delta State Public Procurement Commission for top government functionaries. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Honorable Ekperikpe Ekpo, has called on security agencies, including the Nigerian Police Force, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and the Department of State Services to prevent the diversion of liquefied petroleum gas, also known as cooking gas, from legitimate supply channels. And abroad, At least 164 people have been killed and nearly 1,000 others injured following twin earthquakes that struck Venezuela, marking the country's strongest seismic event in more than a century. You can follow our news online on Facebook at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba and on YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. That ends the Delta Television main news. On behalf of the crew, my name is Perpetua Iboba. Thanking you so much for watching. Good evening.